Ricken Financial presents Kickin' with the Rickens, Redefining Retirement. Jerry Ricken and Heidi Ricken Provost want to help you reach the retirement you deserve. Let's build a strategy that gives you the confidence while meeting your financial wants and needs. Meet the team at rickenfinancial.com. Now, Kickin' with the Rickens.
And it's all powered by Ricken Financial. Thanks so much for subscribing to the show. You can get more information, rickenfinancial.com. Of course, you can find it in the show notes. My name is Mark Owens. Heidi Ricken Provost, how are you doing?
Hey, it's a beautiful day. I'm doing great, Mark. How about you?
Real quick, before we get started here, you be proud of me. I faced one of my fears.
Oh my gosh, I need to hear all about this.
Took a little road trip with the girls, a couple of family members, and some friends. Went up to a lake here in North Georgia. Jumped off 2-story boathouse. Now, let me explain where the fear comes in. So my daughter, Caroline, she's 11, got to the top of it, and all the kids are doing it. And she's like, Daddy, I'm a little worried. I said, baby, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Daddy, I'll do it if you do it. You want me to do this with you? She's like, and I'll do it if you do it. Now, I know if you're watching the video, this is a lot of mass right here coming off of the top of a floating dock. So I'm like, well, baby cakes, if you need my help, then by God, I'm in. And I took that jump off 2-story dock at the lake. It hurt every piece of my body. It hurt my back.
Hey, what a dad, though.
Hurt my arms because, of course, I'm an idiot and I go arms out first.
Oh, God.
Gave me a lake bacteria enema that I was not prepared for. But, Heidi, at the end of the day, we pop back out of the water and Caroline's like, Daddy, that was awesome. Let's do it again.
Oh, yeah.
All right, kid, let's do it again.
You're creating those core memories.
Yes. One of those moments I thought you would have been proud of me because that's not.
I am proud of you.
My cliff diving and boat dock jumping days, those are kind of behind me. But when you have an 11-year-old, it says.
Even just a couple years ago when we were at Sibs camp, we took these canoes out to what they call the jumping rocks at this lake we used to be at for our campsite. And the jumping rocks are like a couple feet in the air, okay?
Yeah.
And I was like, I think I'm going to just hang out in my canoe. Have fun, guys. We did swim team growing up. It wasn't necessarily our idea. My mom was, shout out to Sheila Jane Kriegshauser Ricken. My mom was a D1 lettering athlete at the University of Kansas in swimming. So it wasn't really a question. It was like, you are going to be on the swim team. And I can tread water for hours without thinking about it because we spent so much time in a pool. I'm terrified of jumping off anything like that. Mm-hmm. I didn't even do I would barely even jump off the side of the pool. You know, when you got up on the stand and you had to dive off of it, that was enough for me. I'm not going beyond that. And no high dive for me. None of that. Thank you.
I've done my fair share of toppling over or just losing my balance and falling into the water, but nothing intentional. You're not supposed to do that.
Yeah.
Especially at a certain age when you got back problem anyway. But it was great. We had a good time. So talk to me, a really interesting conversation this week. There's a new scam out there that we need to be aware of that you saw firsthand and that it almost caught you as well. What's going on?
So I'd say about a month ago, one of my husband's rugby buddies, all of a sudden his Facebook, what looked like him, posted that he is now certified in cryptocurrency. My first thought was, okay, am I missing something? Is there a new certification out here? So I Googled it immediately because I was like, I don't think you can be certified in crypto.
Yeah.
I have yet to see the test for that. Let's check it out. So one simple Google tells me, oh no, someone hacked into his Facebook account and this is total spam. Within a matter of minutes, probably 100 people were so proud of this poor guy and they were like, this is awesome. Oh my God, we're so proud of you for, working up the ladder. You're certified in cryptocurrency now. And his Facebook page became this, I just bought a bunch of land and I'm doing all this because I made money in crypto. And I'm doing this because I made money in crypto. And let me help you with crypto. And I knew it was baloney from day one. So I started commenting to the people who were trying to pump him up and say, hey guys, just FYI, it is very clear that someone stole Matt's page. I got blocked instantaneously from the scammer, shockingly. Wow. And I didn't really think anything of it because I just assumed I reported it to Facebook 10 times and I had a bunch of other people report it to Facebook, assumed it went down. Guy starts a new page. He's posted on there a couple times, hey guys, it's scam. Yesterday, I get a phone call from one of my really good buddies of probably like, I don't know, 15, 18 years who plays rugby with these guys. And he's like, hey, Matt reached out to me and this sounds freaking amazing. So I just wanted your opinion on it, as a financial professional. Like, is this cryptocurrency? Can you really make this much money in it? Like, he has, completely redone his house, bought a new plot of land, has a boat, got a new car, all this stuff. Like, and it seems like he's just making so much money. And so he was like sharing ideas of how I can use it too. And like, all I need to do is like send him some money to invest.
Yeah.
Like, is that how this works? And I was like, hey, thank you so much for calling me because you are currently working with a scammer. And if you look at this guy's name on Facebook, you'll find his real account now and see that, this guy is trying to steal your money. It's not him, it's someone else. And it made me think, I'm like, how many people fall prey to this? Because I'm not going to lie, the guy, he sent me the messages back and forth. It sounded like a conversation that these two would have.
Yeah.
It's just one of the many out there that I think a lot of people might fall prey to. And I'm afraid for who is giving their money to this guy, thinking that, or let's be real, it's someone behind a keyboard. It could be a gal too. But
Right.
whoever is giving money to this scam artist, I really fear for their financial future because we've worked with a couple clients that have fallen prey to major scams over the course of the years.
Yeah.
And it's just the latest and greatest one out there. And as we were talking about this, what did you say, Mark?
Yep, I saw the exact same thing. Exact same thing. A buddy of mine went to high school with, ironically, his name is Matt as well. Matt's popping up and he's like, I'm doing this with crypto and I'm doing this with my investment. I'm doing this. I'm like, buddy, I thought you were like a roofer. Okay. Hey, good on you. With every post, there was a link.
There are so many layers of it, but this is just like the third Facebook scam that I have seen recently. The other one, by the way, if someone is posting on Marketplace that they need to move a lot of stuff really quick and they're trying to put a lot of pressure on you, and this amazing golf cart is like $100, by the way, that's scam. And if you need to send them a deposit to hold it, that's also scam. We've had 2 clients talk about that recently. And then, the worst that I've ever seen was one of our clients entrusted. It was a national ad for gold, and they entrusted this person to invest their IRA, all of their 401k and IRA savings at that point in time into this gold scheme. And unfortunately, it was a scheme, and the man who stole their money and did not invest it in gold, he was running a Ponzi scheme. He took his life, and now they lost everything.
Oh,
and there's nothing backing that up to get their money back. So they had to restart their financial futures at like 45 after all of that. So, you just, if it sounds too good to be true, or it sounds like a generality that like everyone can do it, it probably is not true, and you need a second opinion.
So I think it's important too, because that Facebook scam, ironically, exact same thing happened to my aunt. So I'm looking on her Facebook page and she's had it since the beginning of it. And all of a sudden she starts posting all these pictures of, hey, we're selling off all my dad's stuff. And here's his tractor. I'm trying to sell it for $300. Here's his jet skis that we're trying to get rid of. And I'm like, well, first and foremost, Papa's been dead since like 2002. It's like, what do you mean you're just, and whose pictures are these? And so I immediately reach out to her and I'm like, hey, Aunt JJ, what is going on? What's wrong with your page? And she's like, I don't know. I can't get. And so my point being that our parents, sometimes technology just gets so far ahead of them that they need that help. And so it's important to have somebody to call to help them out if they get locked out of their page. It's almost like a service that you offer as well about help me. What is wrong with this scam? Is this, is there a way around this?
At least once a week, we get a phone call from one of our clients asking, hey, is this a scam? And it's a financial email or a voicemail from the IRS or, any of those, a phone call from someone who sounds like their grandchild who's in prison and needs money. There are so many different creative ones out there. But yeah, I mean, we're here to assist you in any possible way. And we want to make sure you don't fall prey to any of that. But there's also just so many generalities out there on the internet. I also don't want you to fall prey to.
Yeah.
I'm also talking about generalities on the internet. so often you see so many of these like clickbait stories, especially targeting retirees, because I think like we mentioned earlier, so many retirees, they didn't grow up with the technology that like my generation did. So they don't understand some of the aspects of the internet, and some people take advantage of that. But there are so many generalities out there and articles that are clickbait that they want you to click on so that you do, whatever with them. But I was reading a group of them this weekend because in this business, believe it or not, I get all those targeted ads to the retirees because of what I do on a daily basis, even though I'm 35 years old and not planning on retiring anytime soon. Don't worry, guys. I did read an article that said only 10% of people have saved $1 million for their financial future in retirement. And that was according to the Federal Reserve Bank. And it was this fear-mongering article that that's not nearly enough. How can you imagine only 10% have saved this? And as I was reading that, I was like, who cares how much money you've saved? But I realized I have a different viewpoint than most retirees, because if you don't have a plan in place and all you've done is accumulate and save for the future, you probably do think that you have to listen to BlackRock that says you need at least $1.8 million to retire, successfully in the future.
Yeah.
Or Susie Orman, who says you need at least $3 million to retire in the future. Or Kevin O'Leary, who, by the way, is a billionaire, who says the bare minimum you need to retire is $5 million. Those are just numbers. And when you don't have a comprehensive plan in place, you might fall prey to the fear here that you do need that. And you know what? Some people do need $1 million to retire because of their spending habits or the lack of Social Security or pensions that they have or income plans coming in. But it's so much more than just what you've saved. It's also how you saved it and where you've saved it and what else comes into plan, for your financial future. So if you're sitting at home and you have, $250,000 saved in your TSP, you have a pension coming in and Social Security, and you're not a spendthrift, you've never spent beyond your means, and you can spend within that pension and Social Security in the future, don't fall prey to this fear-mongering that says you need at least $1.8 million to retire, because that's not true, But if you're also sitting at home and you have only Social Security to rely on in the future, and we've talked about it before, we'll talk about it 100 times, we know that it's an insolvent system right now, and we're not quite sure how we're going to solve the Social Security issues in the future. But if that's all you have for an income plan to rely on in the future, and hey, you like to spend money, there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. Every single person who retires has permission to spend money because you've saved it all these working years so that you can spend it. It's a hard habit to break.
Yep.
But it's okay to spend money in the future as long as you're within your means. But, if you're sitting here and you have $2 million saved and you think, I have everything in the world ready to go, but every single penny that you've saved is qualified. You haven't paid the tax on it yet. Say they're in traditional IRAs and 401ks. If you haven't done a tax plan to figure out how much you're going to get after you pay the IRS in the state that you're in, then you may not have enough. There is no general number for what you need to save for retirement in order to be safe and secure. You can't live in generalities when it comes to your financial future.
Everybody's plan is different. You touched on that a little bit, but it's almost not fair with those articles you mentioned. Mr. Wonderful thinks we need $5 million. Well, okay, he needs $5 million. He probably has a lifestyle that says I can't live without $5 million. Well, there's a lot of us that live way below our means.
Yeah, I'm not taking a private jet every day like he is and doing all the things that he's doing, And BlackRock says you need $1.8 million, probably because BlackRock wants to manage those funds. Yeah. There's, like I said in a previous episode, there are so many biases in all of these articles that we read online that you never really know how to peel back the bias and get to the fact behind it. But at the end of the day, there is no one number. Every single person I meet with, their plan is going to be a fingerprint. It'll be completely different from Joe down the street. And you know what? Sometimes you and your spouse aren't even on the same page, and you might have separate plans too. But when you look at it, every single person has a different financial situation. So they're going to have a different answer for how much they have to have saved. But more importantly, where is it saved? And it's not how much you've saved, it's how much you get to keep. So, I was even having this conversation with a friend the other day who said, I have made so much money following Nancy Pelosi in the market. And I said, okay, great. How much have you kept from what you accumulated? And they're like, what do you mean? Like, you don't cash out while you're up. So many people don't realize paper returns are nothing. If on paper you made a lot of money, great. What is the actual amount that you get to keep after you pay tax? And how much are you using for your financial future? Our strategies, we've never focused on how much money you make. We focus on how much money you and your family get to keep. So if you don't have an estate planning strategy, or how you're going to pay the IRS in the form of taxation, or, is your account allocation truly based on the amount of risk you want to be taking? Are you tax diversified? Is everything in a traditional account, or do you have some Roth, some non-qualified accounts? If you haven't taken all that into consideration, you definitely can't fall prey to all these generalities, because $1 amount is not going to make or break your financial future. Your plan and your strategy for how you're going to handle everything and how much money is going to be left in your pocket at the end of the day, that's what's going to make your financial future solvent.
Is it fair to be following a U.S. representative for stock trading tips? I don't know. Do you think they have something better to do with their time, or maybe focused on something else?
We try not to make it political, but I would say I would not follow any one human being in the world if they're giving you tips and telling you this. Because what it brought me back to was this Facebook post from Matt's fake profile saying, look how much money I've made. This is what you should do. Because that's exactly what this person said is occurring.
That's how we get in trouble.
So, yeah, exactly. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to be the exact same as everyone else.
That's right. I
want access to the things that are going to take care of me personally. Mm-hmm. When it comes to my investing, I don't want Chipotle. You know exactly what you get and you just choose from what's in front of you. I want to build out a custom menu and make sure I have the best meal possible.
If you take nothing else away from this week's Kicking with the Rickens, is don't fall victim to the scams and to the clickbait out there. That's what Heidi, Jerry, they say all the time is reach out to us. You can ask us questions, shoot us an email, give us a phone call. Man, we want to support the community. So it's like we were talking earlier, taking care of our family as well. So maybe you don't have like the kids or the grandkids out there to help you with technology. Well, Ricken Financial, they could be the kids. They could be the grandkids to help you out when you just get a little lost, down the wormhole of some clickbait scheme.
Well, and at the end of the day, if you do read something that scares you and you think, am I going to be okay? Is this true? That is exactly what we're here for. We do these plans on a complimentary basis. It's not going to cost you anything to come in and make sure that you are okay. And all this clickbait out there, don't let it get the best of you. Make sure that you have a plan of some sort in place so that one article is not going to put you in a tailspin. But if it does, you're right, Mark. That's what we're here for.
That's right.
We want to make sure that you're protected and that you don't have fear moving into the future, but you can be more confident in what your financial future is going to look like so you can, achieve the goals that you've worked so hard to achieve in your retirement.
RickenFinancial.com to put faces to the voices that you hear. You can find that link here in the show notes, see all the services they have to offer, and also the contact form, how to reach out to the team. Again, RickenFinancial.com. Well, with Jerry out, Heidi, no pressure. You got to finish it up again. Finish this every day.
It's a holiday.
So life is short.
Laugh hard.
Thank you for the information and the education, and we thank you for listening. This has been Kicking with the Rickens, redefining retirement.
Insurance products are offered through the insurance business Ricken Financial LLC. Ricken Financial LLC is also an investment advisory practice that offers products and services through Impact Partnership Wealth LLC, a registered investment advisor. IPW does not offer insurance products. The insurance products offered by Ricken Financial LLC are not subject to investment advisor requirements. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. Any references to protection, safety, or lifetime income generally refer to fixed insurance products, never securities or investments. Insurance guarantees are backed by the financial strength and claims paying abilities of the issuing carrier. This podcast is intended for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be used as the sole basis for financial financial decisions, nor should it be construed as advice designed to meet the particular needs of an individual situation. Ricken Financial LLC is not permitted to offer, and no statement made during the show shall constitute tax or legal advice. Our firm is not affiliated with or endorsed by the U.S. government or any governmental agency. The information and opinions contained herein provided by third parties have been obtained from sources believed to be reliable, but accuracy and completeness cannot be guaranteed by Ricken Financial LLC.
Please remember that converting an employer plan account to a Roth IRA is a taxable event. Increased taxable income from the Roth IRA conversion may have several consequences. Be sure to consult with a qualified tax advisor before making any decisions regarding your IRA.